The focus has always got to be on freedom. The freedom to find out what the truth is. That's why I won't call myself a truther, because I don't know what the truth is. I know what the truth isn't, which is pretty well everything they tell us. But what is the truth? The whole concept of the fear of this totalitarian state is what gave them the ability to create this totalitarian state under the guise of protecting us from that. It's incredible how they've done it. And it shows how long they've had this plan in the making. But things are just going to go crazy from this point. And this is a soul test. And like I've often said, you've got to be able to face infinity without flinching, which means you've got to walk the path of the warrior, be able to face with serenity odds and circumstances that are not included in your calculations. And leaving was the last thing I expected I would be doing. And I'm quite happy to stand my ground and everything, and I'll fight to the death, but not like that. I mean, you would have come and grabbed me and just put me in a cage. I wouldn't got a chance to fight, and what, make a martyr of myself right there? It wouldn't serve anything. So the battle's just beginning, and I was just getting these urges to do it. So it's amazing how it worked. But the more dystopian it gets, the more you've got to wonder, And like I said, this is a soul test, this whole thing. And everything I've been saying about leading you into the mainframe and creating this virtual reality, and you see what Facebook's doing now with Meta and all this. And what's Meta? Dead, the deadverse, the dead universe, the metaverse. Everything we've expected, everything we've predicted, but so fast. And so many people aren't seeing it, I wonder if they're even people. I really wonder. I mean, I wonder if this isn't Westworld that we're living in. And, what this is all about is finding the real people to trap their souls, Yeah. That's why you create the internet, the World Wide Web, You create the truth movement, because only the people who are asking questions are going to be searching for the truth. And like I've often said, the truth is no one knows what the truth is. It should be the freedom movement. The so-called truth movement, you've got a whole bunch of people arguing over their belief systems of what they think the truth is. And if you think anything different to me, you must be a shill. So what truth are you looking for? The ultimate truth of everything? We'll talk to God. You're not going to find that by searching online. You know what I mean? The focus has always got to be on freedom. The freedom to find out what the truth is. That's why I won't call myself a truther, because I don't know what the truth is. I know what the truth isn't, which is pretty well everything they tell us. But what is the truth? And I'd like to know as much as anybody else, but the fact of the matter is we don't have the freedom to know. People can go out there and pretend that they're gurus and pretend that they know all this and know all that. Most of the time they don't. I mean, even when we discovered Tartaria and discovered the ancient civilization that exists right under our noses, right in all of our modern cities, just scattered in amongst it. When we first discovered that, it made me realize that everything I thought about history even is wrong. I mean, I knew history was wrong. I wrote a book about it. I wrote all this stuff, and I still agree with a lot of the stuff that's in the book. But so much of it was all based on the concept that the timeline was correct. It was all based on the concept that, we'd actually built these cultures up from the ground up, and it was done by our societies. And not that we moved in and simply took over real estate, but we did. That's all we did. So, the truth, whatever you think the truth is, seems to be subject to change. The truth seems to be based on what people believe the truth to be, which is why I've often said belief is the enemy of knowledge. You've got to establish the freedom to find out what the truth is, and don't allow yourself to believe anything. If you're going to believe in anything, believe in your own sovereignty, believe in your own freedom, believe in your own power to make change, your own power to have the idea that could change the world. Life is an emotional mirror. It's an emotional mirror. If you put yourself in the emotional state where the prayer has already been answered, then you attract that reality to yourself. You try to say that to people and they say, oh, this is all New Age stuff. And no, it's not. Your life itself is a prayer. There's an electromagnetic conversation going on between you and reality that a lot of people don't understand is going on. And when I changed my perspective and I realized that it's an emotional mirror, like even how I got the job as a radio host, I figured it would be good to be a radio host because I'd be able to get this information out to people. I didn't even know about internet radio, didn't know about any of that stuff. And I had this meditation. I realized everything is an emotional mirror. So I simply put myself in the emotional state where I was a radio radio host. It's just like, what would it be like to be with your perfect partner? Put yourself in the emotional state. How would that actually feel to be with your perfect partner? You put yourself in that state and that person will walk into your life. And that's what I did. I put myself in the emotional state where I was a radio host, and within 6 weeks, I was offered a job as a radio host by someone completely random. Didn't do anything at all, but just put myself in the emotional state. So it's that same thing. And since then, I give unconditionally. I give when my intuition tells me to give. Or sometimes I'll buy the shopping of the person next door to me because my intuition tells me I need to buy this person's groceries. I did that one time, and this woman burst into tears. She said it was her. She was down to her last $20. She's never had anyone do anything so kind to her. I'd restored her faith in humanity. And this sort of stuff happens. And because I give to people unconditionally, the universe has provided this life for me. It's given me this place. It's given me the ability to be able to continue this message. This is how it works. And I'm not saying anything, oh, look, I'm this wonderful giving person, so I'd be rich. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about it, how it's an emotional mirror. Then they turn it into something that you need for everyday life. And now they're putting a situation in place where if you don't do what you're told, they'll cut you out of it. And everybody's addicted to it, and they do need it for everyday life now. So this makes you completely controllable. All they have to do is deny you access because of what you said on Facebook. You don't like what the government's saying, so we won't let you log online. Suddenly your credit card doesn't work. And it's a way of doing all that. So that's what it's become. And that's what I saw it becoming. But they have to create it like it's a candy store, so it entices you in. And then suddenly they've got you. It's a trap. That's why it's the World Wide Web, the internet. What do you do with the net? What do you do with the web? You catch things, and they've caught the whole human race up with this. But even for this type of soul choice, I mean, it has to be this way. You have to be faced with the most like horrendous evil. And the level of evil that we're facing here is like people cannot even comprehend. You think of this, these politicians are knowingly doing this while they're getting up on TV and just lying through their teeth with a straight face. Once people get wind of it, there's not going to be anywhere on earth that these politicians can hide, Technology becomes so much like the actual world because you can actually do more in the virtual world than you can in this world. You go in there, you've got all these powers, which is really what you should have in this world, which is why you take to it so naturally. See, what they're creating is a mirror of what we can do, but the only way they can get us to accept that mirror is by taking away everything we can do and then presenting it to us as this new virtual place where you've got all these extra things you can do. That's the way it's supposed to be anyway. Something else that I want to say is that trust your intuition. And when you're going down a rabbit hole looking for information and you get all this confirmation of what you're searching for, what you believe, the only reason you're going down that rabbit hole looking for that is because you don't believe in yourself. And you should believe in yourself. And if you can, when you find all this confirmation, if you can just observe that and not have that big aha moment, then you can deny the predator of its food, and you can realize that what you're searching for is all inside you anyway. You already know all this stuff. The only reason you're even looking for external confirmation is because you don't believe in yourself. And as soon as you start believing in yourself and realize you already know this stuff, then you free yourself, and then you can have the most incredible feats of enlightenment. The most incredible downloads of information can come to you simply because you stop looking externally for stuff which you already know, but you just never believed in yourself enough to accept that. I think that's important.